Hi ladies, I'm so happy that you're here. As you join in, tell me in the comments where you are watching from and how do you feel today? Are you happy? Are you tired? Are you stressed? Are you full of energy? Well, welcome into the DanceFit Hub. My name is Catherine. I am your fitness coach. And before we start today, I want to talk about what we've been doing so far. We're working on 4 simple things to help us live a healthier and more full life. So number 1, we move our bodies. Number 2, we eat more real foods. Number 3, we're building strength. And 4, rest and recovery. We don't have to be perfect here in the DanceFit Hub, but we just need to keep taking small steps. Last month, we talked about movement, right? We worked on getting more steps in. Each day, we talked about moving our bodies in ways that feel good. And moving can be anything. It can be walking, it can be dancing, it can be drums alive, it can be cleaning your house, it could be playing with your grandkids, it can be going to Disney, it can be a short walk after dinner. The goal was to not do everything perfectly. The goal was to move a little more each day. That's it. Okay, so if you're still doing that, type move in the comments. Type move in the comments if you moved your body today more than you did yesterday. Maybe you walked and you took a class, maybe you danced, or you just got more steps. Awesome. All right, this month we're talking about our next healthy life step, which is whole foods. So whole foods are foods that are close to how they come from nature. Okay, things like fruit, vegetables, eggs, chicken, fish, beans, nuts, rice, potatoes, and yogurt. Okay, so this month is not about going on a strict, really hard diet. We're not talking about that. We are not saying that you never eat pizza, of course, because I love pizza and I am not giving that up. Bread, love bread, cookies, or ice creams. You don't have to give any of that up. We're learning how to eat more foods that help us feel good and have more energy. That's it. So last week, we talked about eating for energy, right? And not really trying to eat perfectly. We talked about simple meals that help us feel full and give us energy throughout the day. We talked about not waiting until we are super hungry to eat. That's where the term hangry comes from, right? When we wait too long, we often grab the fastest food that we can find, right? That's when it gets crazy, and that is normal. It does not mean that you failed at all, right? So today, I'm going to title this one, Swap It, Don't Stop It, okay? Because we're gonna talk about food swaps, all right? Now, we're not taking all of your favorite foods and saying you can't have them. Okay, we're definitely not doing that. We're talking about small changes that can help you feel better. All right, so type swap in the comments if you're ready and you're like, yes, I want to learn more about this whole swap thing. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and how I discovered this whole food swap thing. So when I first started my health journey, in the beginning, it was a weight loss journey. And food was one of the first things that I focused on, right? I mean, isn't that what everybody does, right? So I thought I was eating too much, like most of us do, right? Too much sugar, too many carbs, too many things that I liked that I was like, maybe I shouldn't be having that, right? Just too much food altogether. So I thought the answer was to go on a diet, right? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do? And I have to tell you, I tried a lot of diets. I tried a lot of things. I tried Atkins, I tried keto, I tried the cabbage soup diet, I tried Weight Watchers, I tried a 21-day fix. Honestly, I think I tried almost everything, right? I just was like, something has to work. And every plan had a list of foods that I could eat and foods that I could not eat. Okay, so some plans told me to cut out carbs. Some plans said to count points. Some plans told me to count my calories. And some plans would even give me extra calories or points if I stayed on track with their plan, right? As a reward system. And at first I was like excited. This can work for me. And I would say, this is it. This is the plan that is going to work for me. But then I would be hungry, more hungry, really hungry. And I would be thinking about it, like thinking about food all the time. I was teaching classes and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home to eat. And I would, lose a few pounds. Yeah, I mean, they kind of worked. And then a month later, those pounds would come right back. And I don't know, like, have you ever had that happen to you? I mean, you work like so hard, you lose weight, a little bit at a time, and you're happy, and then it comes back. I know. Type me in the comments if that's ever happened to you, okay? Because it happened to me, and for a long time, I thought the problem was me, right? I thought I didn't have enough like self-control. I didn't have enough willpower. I thought, like, Catherine, you're such a failure because you can't like just stick with this one thing. Like, come on. But now I know that it's different, right? I know that that's not true. The problem was not me. It wasn't me. The problem was that those plans were too hard for me to live with. Okay, it didn't match my lifestyle. It didn't even match my life at all. They gave me rules, yay, but they did not teach me how to eat in a way that worked for my real life. So on paper, really great, but when I was doing it, not so great. It did teach me, it didn't teach me how to deal with those busy days. It didn't teach me what to do when I didn't feel like it, like I was tired. It didn't teach me how to enjoy food without feeling guilty. And they didn't teach me how to make like small changes. It was all about making big changes. So it wasn't changes that I could keep for a very long time. And that's why I love food swaps. And a food swap is not saying I can never have that food again. So like I can never have ice cream again. No. Food swap says, what is one small change that I can make that helps me feel better, right? Or that helps me get closer to my goal. And we're not, trying to eat perfectly, which this is what I love. We're trying to eat better, right? So that we can feel better, we can have more energy, and we can build these habits so that they last, right? And after a while, you're not even thinking about it. So let's talk about why some of the things that you have been doing, myself included, are not working, okay? So first, we try to do too much all at once, okay? We say, all right, today, or maybe even tomorrow, I'm changing everything. You start buying foods that you don't like, foods you really don't like, right? That you would never even think of because you don't like them. You stop eating the foods that you do like, right? Foods that you enjoy. And we try to follow a lot of rules. I'm not really a rule follower. So we try it for a few days, maybe even a month, and then it feels really hard and it feels like work, and then it feels like you're punishing yourself. And when it feels like punishment, we usually do not keep doing it. right? Number two is we wait until we're very hungry. Okay, maybe you skip breakfast. Maybe lunch is coffee and a few bites of something. And then later in the day, you're starving. And you're like, what? What is wrong with me? I'm starving. And when we are super hungry, we do not usually stop and make a good choice. That's why we have fast food, right? That's why it's called that, fast food. And we grab whatever is fast. Maybe you go to the freezer, you grab like a frozen dinner, whatever it is, right? Maybe it's chips, maybe it's a muffin, maybe it's cookies, maybe it's candy, maybe it's, cheese and crackers. And yes, maybe it's fast food. And again, that doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that your body needed food, okay? And so your body is not the enemy. Your body is trying to take care of you. Third is gonna be, we think that food is either bad, it's good or bad, right? How many times have you said that? I was good today because I ate a salad. Yay! And you expect your friends to be like, oh, good for you. Or I was bad today because I had cake. And your friends are like, oh yeah, definitely no cake, right? But you are not good or bad because of what you eat. Food does not make you a good person or a bad person, okay? We can have a salad and enjoy cake sometimes too. Like, that's okay. The goal is not to never have treats. You can have treats. The goal is to eat foods that give you energy most of the time. Foods that are good for you, to choose those most of the time, right? Let me know if that's kind of resonating with you. Put simple in the comments if you're kind of thinking, yes, I'm liking this simple method, right? Okay, so now let's talk about something that I love to do with my clients, and it always works. I help them find better swaps. That's what we do. So not perfect swaps, because remember, there's no perfect thing, right? There's no diet food, not a list of foods that they can never eat again, because then they would never hire me again if I did that, right? Just better swaps, because when a woman tells me, I just can't stick to this thing. I've failed so many times, and I'm not gonna sit there and hand her a list of rules. That's not gonna work. I start looking at her real life. What does she eat right now? When does she get hungry, right? Where does her energy drop? Is it in the afternoon? Does she crash in the evening? What foods does she really enjoy, right? What do you like? What do you like to eat? When we look for the one small change that will make the biggest difference for her, then it makes all the difference, okay? Because the best swap for you may not be the best swap for someone else, okay? Maybe one of my clients may need help with breakfast, right? Because she's living on coffee until about 12 o'clock, okay? Maybe another client will need help with, afternoon snacks, because you're allowed to have afternoon snacks, but maybe she just gets tired in the afternoon and she always reaches for sugar because she thinks she needs that, okay? Maybe another client is doing great all day, but dinner is the hard part because she's a single woman, she lives by herself, and making a whole meal is super crazy for her and super challenging. So maybe that's something that she struggles with. Maybe weekends are hard, right? Maybe they're full of dinner with friends and eating out and special events. So do you see why a one-size-fits-all food plan does not work? I hope so, right? Because the goal is not for you to copy someone else's meal, okay? That's why those meal plans that are out there, they're not 100%, the thing to do, because the goal is to learn where your energy is falling apart and then find a simple swap that fits your life. And that is what we do when we work on that together. Okay, so we look at your habits without being, with a lot of judgment in there, and we figure out what is getting in your way. Then we make small changes that we can do and that you can keep doing. That's the thing. You want it to be so simple that you can keep doing it. And we don't need to fix everything all at once, but I do want you to think about this. Okay? Where is food hardest for you right now? Is it breakfast? Is it snacks? Is it dinner? Is it weekends? Right? Think about that. Is it eating when you are stressed? Put one word in the comments, because I'm really interested to know what that is for you. Just one word. I want to know where you need the most help, okay, when it comes to eating. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be looking at those comments. So I want to make sure that you're putting them down, giving you some time to do that. All right. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because I do know that for a lot of you, that's putting yourself out there in the comments and letting the world know what you're struggling with. So kudos to you, because I know how hard that can feel, right? So you're not broken at all. You just may need some simple, a better plan for that one part of your day. That's it. So once you know where the problem is, that's where we can start, right? Not with a perfect plan, not with a big list of foods, not by trying to change your whole life overnight. You didn't get to this part of, maybe being overweight or, lacking strength or whatever. That didn't happen overnight. So this is not going to be overnight. Maybe you just start with one small swap that makes sense to you right now. Alrighty, so let's bring it all together. Today we talked about food swaps, all right? So if you're tuning in kind of late, that's what we were talking about, food swaps. We are not trying to stop eating everything that we like, okay? I love food. I want you to enjoy your food as well. We're not going on a hard, strict diet either, okay? We're learning to look at our real lives and ask one simple question. Where is food hardest for me right now? Maybe you need more energy in the morning. Maybe that's you, right? Maybe you need help with afternoon snacking. I love snacks, by the way. Maybe dinner is where everything falls apart, right? Maybe that's your thing. Maybe stress eating is the problem. Stress is, getting in the way of things. This week, I do not want you to judge yourself, because we can be pretty harsh judges, okay? I want you to notice. We are really judgy when it comes to ourselves. So put that away and just be aware. Pay attention this week. When does your energy drop? When do you feel very hungry? Okay, when do you find yourself grabbing food without thinking? Yeah, right? I'm sure a lot of us do that, because I know I used to do that. And that's really the clue. That's the clue right there. That is where your next small change may be. And then next week, we're going to talk about protein. Yay, right? A lot of us see a package that says high protein. And then you think, oh, yes, I should buy that, because we need protein. We need a lot of protein, right? But do we really need it? Right? We are going to talk about why protein matters, simple ways that you can get protein from food, and how to think about protein shakes, powders, and supplements. All right, so we're going to be talking about some nice juicy stuff. It's not going to be confusing. I'm going to make it so simple that it's going to be so easy. No pressure to buy anything, right? Don't go out there and buy the next protein product that you see. Just simple information to help you make better choices for your body. okay, for this body that's over 50, that is very special and needs a little TLC. So if you want help figuring out what may be draining your energy and what small changes that you need, type swap in the comments. Send me a message and let's chat about it. I would love to help you to kind of take you through it and move you to the next step, all right? Again, this is not about perfection. I know I sound like a broken record, but I want you to realize that there's no such thing. You do not need to be perfect, and you don't need to be continuously starting over, okay, when it comes to food. You only need to get curious and notice your patterns and take one small step at a time, okay? So say it with me. I do not need to be perfect. I need progress. Okay, so thank you for being here, ladies. I am super, super appreciative of all of you for just showing up to these trainings on Thursday. Pay attention to your food patterns this week, and I will see you next time. Bye.